Hare Krishna. Please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My internet connection is very weak, so I've disabled my camera to save some data, and I hope it will go well. So the verse we will discuss today is on the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudirayat. Nastvezya Bhatrasu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavatu Tamastuke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. So we are discussing today the first canto, chapter 8, text 28. So these are the famous prayers of Queen Kunti, which we are discussing now for a few weeks. But we are still in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto is in reality the prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna is preparing to leave for Hastinapur, and Queen Kunti stops Lord Krishna, speaks to him before he's leaving. Queen Kunti knows Krishna is leaving, and she knows also that Krishna in the future will depart from this world. So now we will first read this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Manye Tvam Kalam Ishanam. Anadi Nidanam Vibhum. Samam Sharanam Tam Sarvatra. Bhutanam Yamita Kali. The word for word translation. My Lord, so Manye, I consider, Tvam, your Lordship, Kalam, the eternal time, Ishanam, the Supreme Lord, Anadi Nidanam, without being, beginning and end, Vibhum, all pervading, that Samam, equal, merciful, Sharantam, distributing, Sarvatra, everywhere, Bhutanam, of the living beings, Yamita, by intercourse, Kali, dissension. So, the translation. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, that without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one, in distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. That translation. I read translation once again. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning.
Good morning, Hare Krishna. Maharaj,
Yes, it was interrupted. I'm not sure if it will be possible to have the class today, but I'm trying to continue. I'm trying to continue with the purport that I won't bring it on the screen to save widband, but I read the purport, translation and purport again. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between the living beings are due to social intercourse. Kunti Devi knew that Krishna was neither her nephew nor an ordinary family member of her paternal house. She knew perfectly well that Krishna is the primeval Lord who lives in everyone's heart as the Supersoul, Paramatma. Another name of the Paramatma feature of the Lord is Kala, or eternal time. Eternal time is the witness of all our actions, good and bad, and thus resulted actions are destined by him. It is no use saying that we do not know why and for what we are suffering. We may forget the misdeeds for which we may suffer at the present moment, but we must remember that Paramatma is our constant companion, and therefore he knows everything past, present, and future. And because the Paramatma feature of the Lord destines all actions and reactions, he is the supreme controller also. Without his sanction, not a blade of grass can move. The living entities are given as much freedom as they deserve, and misuse of that freedom is the cause of suffering. The devotees of the Lord do not misuse their freedom, and therefore they are good sons of the Lord. Others who misuse freedom are put into miseries destined by the eternal Kala. The Kala offers the conditioned souls both happiness and miseries. It is all predestined by eternal time. As we have miseries uncalled for, so we may have happiness also without being asked. For they are all predestined by Kala. No one is therefore either an enemy or friend of the Lord. Everyone is suffering and enjoying the results of his own destiny. This destiny is made by the living beings in course of social intercourse. Everyone here wants to lord it over the material nature, and thus everyone creates his own destiny under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. He is all-pervading, and therefore he can see everyone's activities, and because the Lord has no beginning nor an end, he is known as the eternal time, Kala. Om Jnanatimrandasya Janansala Shlaka Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namah. Shichetaya Manopistam Stapatam Yena Bhutali Svamrupakadamyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shiyuda Padakamalam Shigon Vaishnavamsha Shirupam Sarjatam Saganaragnatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganadita Shivishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Tyatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanashri Vishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamama Repriye Panka Kalptrabhisha Kripasan Vivisha Padnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, Queen Kunti, in the previous verses, she offered her affection and appreciation for all what Krishna had done to save her sons, protecting them. Now in this section, she is beginning to express wonder and amazement. This will come out in the following verses. In this verse, she is reaching to the supreme limit of abstraction of what is Krishna. Krishna is Kala, she says, is time. That also Krishna addresses Arjuna in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Kalasmi lokaksakrit pravrito lokan samahartamya previta itepit famna pavishanti sarve ya yevashtita prat yanike siyoda. Time I am, Krishna says, the destroyer of all the worlds, and I've come here to destroy all people, with exception of you, the Pandavas, and all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So Krishna says, is Kala, is time. But Queen Kunti says also that is the Lord, is without beginning, without end. He is the Great One, is Vibhu, that Vibhu, Srila Prabhupada translates as all pervading. So is all these things, time, all pervading, without beginning, end, is going everywhere equally, is distributing equally his mercy. That's interesting, this. It may be in one of the commentaries of the Acharyas, because the word mercy is not immediately visible in the Sanskrit. The emphasis is on his presence, but also his being equally present everywhere. But then in the last line, he says, Bhutanam yam mita kali. It seems not to be something that follows from what comes before here. Something about the living entities, and now they are in conflict, social intercourse. Kali is the age of quarrel or conflict. Srila Prabhupada in the purport is emphasizing this notion of predestination, that so everything is predestined. So I was asking Dr. Gopaswamy from New Mayapur in France, a Prabhupada disciple, you are a doctor, so what's the use of being a doctor if everything is predestined? But he says, yes, everything is predestined. We have a certain span of life and a certain health, but you can shorten it by sinful activities, or you can extend it a little bit by good treatment. So there is some space, but finally everything is predestined. Predestination as a result of one's previous actions. That's so this predestination. Yeah, it's predestined, but it can be changed by one's reaction. That one may be further implicated by one's reactions, or one can get, it can be changed by the grace of the Lord. Only Krishna can change our karma. So what is it that leads material nature to act in such a way that we get our karma? That's an interesting question. That means there are very subtle directions in material nature, which are controlled by the super soul, and we get our reaction. That like Vaisheshika philosophy, it's not Vedic, but it's that. But they say at least that this karma is adristi, it's unseen. You cannot see it. That so predestined. I remember a few years ago when this airplane got off and near to Ethiopia or something. It left the airport, and a few kilometers further, it crashed. So there was a person who went to the airport, and he was just late, and they didn't allow him to board anymore. The boarding was closed. So he missed the airplane, but then the airplane crashed. So that's predestined. He was not predestined to die in this crash. That's interesting. But the point that's made here in the purport by Srila Prabhupada has an impact upon our relationships. We are all getting reactions of our past misdeeds. If someone treats me, I cannot blame him for mistreating me. Then it means it's your karma. The person is only the instrument in your karma. So you cannot blame anyone. So this can help us to, in our devotee relationship, to give up our grudge in relationships. That so if we suffer, it's only our fault. We suffer only because, really, why do we suffer? We suffer only because of lack of Krishna consciousness. Solution is awakening your Krishna consciousness. Because we are covered by material consciousness, bodily consciousness. But if we revive our Krishna consciousness, then our original Krishna consciousness comes back. And that is the end of our spiritual amnesia. It's like an amnesia. We don't remember who we are. That in Radha we are discussing for the moment chapter 70 of the 10th canto. And I was preparing a bit my lecture for tomorrow. And there, Krishna, it's the daily activities of Krishna. And it's described Krishna leaves all these 1,016 palaces, and every queen sees only Krishna. That also the neighbors, they see only one Krishna, but these are all expansions of Krishna, and Krishna leaves the palaces, and all these expansions just before the Sudharma assembly hall, they come together. And then Krishna enters the Sudharma meeting hall, a meeting hall which comes from heaven. If you are in that meeting hall, then no thirst, hunger, disease, or death can take place. And Krishna, when he comes in, is glorified, and then, yes, he's in the assemblies of the Yadus. And then a messenger comes from a representative of 20,000 kings, 20,000 kings imprisoned by Jarasandha. And this messenger gives them a message from these 20,000 kings. And he said, these 20,000 kings, they they ask Krishna to save them, but they express also their realizations. They express how they came to complete dependence on Krishna. They realize that their present situation is because of their own karma. That's why they are imprisoned. So generally, people in this world want to blame everyone else for their situation. They do not take any responsibility for their situation. Especially in the Western world, they accuse others. It's their fault. And they try to take some revenge on that person. So this is due to ignorance. Some may cause disturbance, but finally, you have to get your reaction. It's not a person that brings it to you. First, the kings, they were confused. They think we are pious kings, and Jarasandha is mean and cruel. He's conquering so many others. How is it that he's enjoying and we are suffering? He has imprisoned us and he's enjoying like anything. They were confused, they couldn't understand. But we have to realize that the karma of the living entities is going back many lives. So now they may doing some good work, but in some life ago they did do something to cause these bad reactions. Now the kings realized it is our karma, and our karma is coming in the form of Jarasandha. That's all. At this point, they are not blaming Jarasandha. Jarasandha is the person that is carrying our karma. And so this is advanced understanding. Adhyatmic, adibaudic, adidevic reactions. We get reactions in so many ways, from nature, from our mind, from other living entities. So the kings know they cannot escape their karma. It must come. You cannot avoid. They cannot overcome Jarasandha. Only you, Krishna, can do something that can do something. So they appeal to Krishna. Please release us from these shackles of karma. These karma are like shackles in the prison. That, of course, that's confirmed by the sixth canto, in the sixth canto already, where Sukadev Goswami says to Maharaj Pariksit, Kesit kevalya bhaktya vasteva parayana gamdum vanste karsnina nyara viva baska. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotion. It's a complete unalloyed devotion to Krishna. Only such a person can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, such as the sun can immediately disrupt fog by its rays. So Sukadev Goswami says here, if you perform complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna, pure devotional service, then Krishna will take your karma away. So even if one is not on the level of pure devotional service, but is endeavoring to come to pure devotional service, means so one who uses his body, mind, words, and all his endeavors only in the service of Krishna is considered already a pure devotee, and Krishna takes all his karma away. So that's the benefit of devotional service. Even a little pure devotional service, all karma goes. Karma, it appears in four forms. Kuta, the desire to perform sinful activities. Bija, the seed of that turns into a seed. I'm going to do it, and then the reaction comes. You do it, and then aparabdha. karma and parabdha karma. First, karma that's manifested, but there's aparabdha karma that later becomes manifesting, maybe in many lives later. And it's not possible to trace this back. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the intricacies of karma are very difficult to understand. So devotional service is like burning to ashes all sinful activities. This is explained in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 4:37. Of course, there Krishna begins saying yes, for that Tatvinapanipadna Pariprashna Sevita Upadekshanti Tegnam Gyanastat Vadakshana. You approach the spiritual master, inquire for him submissively and render service unto him, because he gives you the knowledge, because he's seen the truth. So, and then when you receive this knowledge, you have to follow these instructions. When you follow the instructions of Krishna, of the spiritual master, which is Krishna, which are Krishna's instructions, then what happens? Then you start to come out of illusion. Then you get these realizations which are described here by these kings. That then you will see all living entities as part of the Supreme, and how everything is connected with Krishna, and how this karma and so on is just an arrangement for Krishna because of your past sinful activities. And then if you understand that, if you have that knowledge, then Apsitas Babyo Sarvabyo Pavaketama Sarvakatam Praveneva Vichnam Santarishasi. Then you are on the boat of transcendental knowledge. You follow these instructions of the spiritual master. You chant your rounds. You hear the Bhagavatam every day. You follow the relative principles. You do service. And when you do all these things, you are on this boat of transcendental knowledge. And if that's the focus of your life, then it becomes pure devotional service just to please Krishna. And then it happens. Yadaidam samidoh nir bashmatsakota yanamsanach nir savakarmani bashmasakota tata. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes around, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all the reactions of material activities. All your karma goes, Krishna says, if you do these things. So the karma doesn't go, but at the time we have a fire sacrifice. No, it goes. It goes from the moment that we are following these instructions. We come out of ignorance. We get realizations. So for devotee, there is no need for prayaschitta. That even if we chant namabhas, when we start to chant without offenses, then we are going towards pure devotional service. When we give these offenses up, then our heart becomes pure. No need for prayaschitta or trying to counteract our previous sinful reactions for sinful activities. No, that will go to pure devotional service automatically. So, but then one can say, oh, devotees, they are seemingly they have still their karma, but that's not karma. Devotees come directly under the control of Krishna. Their reactions are gone. So Krishna gives an experience which will help them to advance further. Sometimes we go to an astrologer, we ask our horoscope. Horoscope means seeing what's your karma. That, of course, Krishna will save all these kings. Yes, this is a great lesson for us that we try to understand that everything what we go through is a reaction of our previous karma. And that yes, that they are taking shelter of Krishna. Because Krishna is the only one who can take away karma. That so that is what Queen Kunti is teaching us, that Krishna is omnipresent, is time, that and through this time, this karma comes and is allotted to us, that devotees should adopt this attitude, which is described by Lord Brahma in the 10th canto. This is the chapter dealing with Brahma's Mualila, where is Lord Brahma praised the Lord Krishna. Tatena kampam sasamiksham no munjana ivatmakitam vipakam. Edvachva probir vidada namaste jivetyo mukti pades dayabak. O my Lord, one who earnestly wait for your mercy and patiently suffers his past misdeeds, his karma, is he and offers respectful obeisance to me in his heart who takes shelter of me, is surely eligible for liberation. Then Krishna will save him. That so we should always thinking we are getting only a little of this karma. We deserve much more, but Krishna is saving us. So the only way to get rid of this karma is Krishna consciousness, pure devotional service. So I will stop here. That we have gone so far and without any interruption. I will try to get my video on for a moment. Yeah. So if there are any questions, comments, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my obeisance. All Krishna.
My obeisances, Maharaj. Just asking about the spiritual master when he takes the karma of the disciple. Do I understand it properly that he will only take the karma if we are following his instructions carefully and properly?
Yes, that's explained in Bhagavad Gita, and that is also explained by Narodam Das Thakur, and we sing it every day.
Yes.
We sing it every day. Divyagan rite pokasito. This Divyagan, that is what really destroys the karma.
Yes.
Rite pokasito, it appears in the heart when we serve the spiritual master. And that is the mercy of the spiritual master. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It's not during the fire sacrifice. Of course, that does not mean that this fire sacrifice has no meaning. It's also purifying at that moment because we take shelter. That's the beginning of taking shelter. But really, our karma goes when we chant without offenses, we take shelter of Krishna by following the instruction of the spiritual master. Then it's all burnt away. That's also explained in a similar way in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto. The second canto, there you have, it explains Nastveza Bhattisunyam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavata Tamaski Bhakti Bhakti Naiski. So when we attend the class of the Bhagavatam and render service to the pure devotee, we follow the instructions of the spiritual master. All what is nearly troublesome to the heart is nearly destroyed. And then in the next verse is explained Tato Jastamobha Kamala Upsirastis Terra Navtam Sitran Satve Pasidati. Then the modes of ignorance and passion goes, and then Evam Pansamansa Bhagavat Bhakti Yogata Bhagavat Tato Vihyam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Then you come to pure goodness, and you get realizations from within the heart, and you become enlivened by scientific knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada translates, and then you get liberation. And then at that moment, Vidyate Yeganti Sityante Sarvasamsyaksyanti Sarvakarmani Tristvaivat Manishvari. Then this knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are gone. And then it said the chain, Ksyanti Sarvakarmani, the chain of fruitive actions is terminated at that moment. And then we see Krishna and the Super Soul as our master. So, but yes, if we follow sincerely, we perform pure devotional service only to even a little, it happens. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
So
if we don't achieve perfection Maharaj, with our chanting, and we're still committing offenses, what happens in that situation? The spiritual master, will he only see our effort, or how does it work? Because we are prone to mistakes and making mistakes in our chanting.
Yeah, the first thing is that it's clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhaktya Pranashati. You are in the process, you will never be degraded. You will at least human form. But there is more. In the 6th chapter, Krishna says, if you have a long practice, you will take rebirth in the family of a pure devotee. So you will be trained.
Yeah.
Krishna is training you till the end. You will just have to stick that, and even if we are nearly pure but not completely, then we take birth in Krishna's pastimes and are further trained by Nitya Siddhi devotees of the Lord. So this is Krishna's plan. And it's under control of Krishna. Krishna, the devotee wants to please Krishna and says to Krishna, you bring me everywhere you want me to serve. That was also the mode of our Guru Maharaj. That we want to Prabhupada continue his servant. And if we have that, we are on the safe side. We should not think about it, this karma as a big thing. It's all temporary. We will get out of it.
And in terms of people like outside, sometimes we see our temples are attacked by, different groups, like, different faiths, and they attack us, or they attack devotees on Harinam or things like that. Do we still have to view that as, if we view that as just our karma, Maharaj, then should we not make attempts to protect our situation and our, should we just take the mood of, well, that was our karma, and we should not see it any other way?
No, that's not an appropriate attitude. That it may be a collective karma, but no, this is Srila Prabhupada's preaching mission, is under the protection of Krishna. But you can imagine that if you are preaching in Kali Yuga, in the kingdom of Kali, Kali is going to let you do no, Kali is going to put
No.
all possible obstacles, but
Yeah.
we should not be discouraged by that. Krishna is always
Mm.
victorious. This is the last
Mm.
verse of
Mm.
the Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogesvaro Krishna Par Yatra Parto Danurdara Tatra Shevachyo Buddhir Truvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is this Arjun, who is devotee,
Mm.
there will be always opulence, extraordinary power, victory, morality.
Yeah.
So we will be victorious over this.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
That is,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about that. But Krishna keeps us busy and gives us some service, and we have to fight like Arjuna sometimes.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
in not always physically, but we have to fight, but sure. That if we fight for Krishna, that's our
Mm.
that's our
Yeah.
direct ticket back to God.
Mm. Mm.
So,
Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
something else. So thank you very much. It's good that we came so far, that despite all technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
thank you very much, Maharaj.
Krishna,
Wonderful. Yes, yeah. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for a wonderful class.
that I'm looking forward. I'm not sure for next week. I will try to give class. I'm in Ljubljana, Slovenia, on Padayatra with Prahladananda Swami. But I will keep you informed if I can give the class at the same time. And for tomorrow, 9:30, is that too late, you think?
Yeah, I did see, Maharaj. Actually, some other Prabhupada disciples are scheduled at 9:30,
Yeah.
from 9:30. Maharaj, is 11:30 would be too late for you?
No, that's 11:30 would be even more better. That would be better. Then I'm at ease and a good internet connection.
Better? Okay, Maharaj.
Yeah, 11:30. That's 5:30 my time. Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Sai Prabhupada. Haribo.
Okay, Maharaj. Yeah. Yeah, I will respond to your email, because from 9:30 to 11:30 we have some Guru Maharaj God brothers are speaking,
Great.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and then yes, Maharaj. So
11.
11:30 I will send you message. Yeah, I will send you message today.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
Thank you.